Showa labor rights. Showa labor rights. Move on. Go to church. Showa labor rights. Showa labor rights. Stand up. One more time, my friends. One more time. Showa, Showa, Showa. Showa, Showa.
Equal rights and justice. These are everlasting songs.
Showa labor rights, Showa. Whip them, man. We're gonna whip them. Go on, labor right. Go on, labor right. Go on, labor right. Feeling good, man. I'm third term loading. Feeling good, no, that's good. Okay, let's get to the meat of the matter, my friends. I'm going to church, so I have to get ready. And time is moving. Listen, I haven't talked to my people in a while, so I'm going to talk to my people right now. I'm going to move on because I got like 3 topics I want to cover, 3 or 4. Very fast, right? Moving fast. Okay. Labor rights. Let me talk to my people. I just read the news and I just get the things in my head of what I want to talk about. So I want to cover like 3 or 4 topics this today, right now. Okay. I want to talk about the reduction in murders first. There is a story about the I don't have it in front of me. But I want to talk about 4 topics. First, a reduction in murders, right? Murder has decreased 35% under this JLP government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, right? Can I get a shower for that? Listen, man, it's good. It's good to celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate right now. Shower. Gonna whip them, man. We're gonna whip them. Man. Wait. Showa labor rights. Showa. I'm feeling good and it's good. And 3 term. 3rd term. Okay, let's talk about the reduction in murders. Murders has decreased by 35%. And I noticed the fake news media headed by the toilet paper newspaper, the Gleaner. Let me repeat. The fake news media headed by the toilet paper newspaper, the Gleaner. The 15th garrison of Jamaica, the Gleaner. Situated at 7 North Street in Kingston. That newspaper had an headline a few days ago that what is basically was saying is that the reduction in the murder rate, right, is not attributable to anything the government has done. In other words, they're saying that the government headed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness cannot take credit for it. Let me understand something, my friends, because hypocrisy and dishonesty is something that I abhor passionately, right? I dislike those things, right? When the murder rate was running rampantly, increasing, and the murders was on the increase, everybody blames Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the JLP government. Am I right? Hello, somebody. Hello? Am I right? Tell me if I'm right or wrong. They blame the Prime Minister and the government. Rightly so. Rightly so. Okay? And the Gleaner says, the Gleaner had a dishonest headline. The fake news Gleaner headline caption was, sleeping with your doors open. That's what the Gleaner says, you know. And we know they're talking about the Prime Minister comments that he made in 2016 about sleeping with your doors open, right? So the Gleaner has ridiculed the whole thing by having that dishonest and misleading headline, right? Sleeping with your doors open, and went on to say the people of Jamaica deserve the credit. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the people of Jamaica. I'm not taking it because the police alone cannot reduce crime. It needs the cooperation of the people who in my view, seem to have had enough of these criminals running rampant in Jamaica. Enough. So they have decided to work along with the police to reduce crime. That's normal in any civilized country that wants to reduce crime. And that's what the people seem to have been doing, and the police, right, have been doing a great job in being vigilant against these criminals. And so, therefore, murders have reduced by 35%. We should be congratulating the Prime Minister and his government. We should be congratulating Prime Minister of Jamaica, Dr. Andrew Holness. Brilliant leadership. And his government for reducing murders 35%. It didn't reduce by itself. Hello, somebody. Hello to the hypocrites. It didn't reduce by itself. It had to be it had to be done by the leadership of the Prime Minister and the government. And we've seen the investments that the government have made in the apparatus of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have seen investments that this government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness has invested in the apparatus of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We increase intelligence gathering. We increase mobility by giving the police more vehicles, and armored vehicles also, including armored vehicles. We're giving them motorcycles, right? Police presence through ZOSO, state of emergency. All these things contribute to the reduction in murders by 35%. So we have to give credit to the Prime Minister and the government of Jamaica, not taking that away from them. The Gleaner criticize when the crime is down and don't want to congratulate when the murder rate is up. The Gleaner criticize and don't want to congratulate and give credit to the Prime Minister and the JLP government when murders are down. I don't understand. I don't understand. When murders are up, we criticize the Prime Minister and the government, which is fine. When the murders are down, you gotta give credit. You can't say the people of Jamaica deserve the credit. Yes, the people of Jamaica have had enough, it seems, and they're cooperating with the police, which is fine. That is what is happening in a civilized country. But people cooperate with the police to reduce crime. But you can't take it away from the Prime Minister and the government for not giving them credit for reducing crime. Any well-thinking Jamaicans who love their country would say, well done. I'm glad crime is down. I'm glad the murder rate is down in Jamaica. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm elated. We don't care who bring it down. As long as it's down, If the PNP were to bring it down, I would give them credit. But they didn't do it in their 22 years of government. They did not do it, my friends. They did not do it. If the murder rate is down, fine. Celebrate it. Don't criticize. You criticize when the murder rate is up and criticize when it's down. What kind of morons are these? What kind of imbeciles do these things? The murder rate is down and you're not cheering. Oh, the government doesn't deserve credit. As if you're unhappy that the murder rate is down. You gotta be the one selfish, ignorant person. Come on, man. Give credit where credit is due. We have seen the police working. We have seen the police getting a lot of equipment. We have seen intelligence gathering. We have seen the increase in mobility with vehicles. We have seen all these wonderful things. So how can we not celebrating the police, the reduction of murders in Jamaica by 35% by giving credit to the Prime Minister and his government for working? I have never seen. I have been around the blocks for a while now, bro. I have never seen a government work so tirelessly and effortlessly to reduce crime in Jamaica. You can see the work they're putting in. My God, I have seen it. I've never seen such concentration of efforts on the security forces to reduce murders. And it is paying off now. It is paying off now. And my God, thank God it is paying off. I'm moving on because I have to go to church. Let me cover the other. Time is moving, right? I think. Okay. PNP wants explanation of Minister of Legal Affairs Marlene Melloho Ford comments on election date. Okay. And the Gleaner, the fake news dishonest media in Jamaica, what it does, what the media do, media is plural, what the media do is peddle on the ignorance and illiteracy of the PNP supporters. That's what they do, because the people who support the PNP are ignorant, for the most part illiterate, for the most part lazy, don't want to work, for the most part worthless. I said so. You want me to repeat? The people who support the PNP party for the most part are ignorant, illiterate, worthless, and lazy. You want me to repeat the third time? Because it's third term. The people who support the PNP party are for the most part illiterate, ignorant, worthless, and lazy. Yes, I said so. Because for the most part they are. And the Gleaner, the fake news media and the Gleaner know that, and so they peddle on it. Right? So let me explain this here, what Minister of Legal Affairs Marlene Melloho Ford says. I am a student of history and politics, and I read. Right? People don't tell me something and I say, okay, that's what it is. I run with it. I don't run with it. I read with understanding. Let me explain. Minister of Legal Affairs Melloho Ford is right. She's correct. She says, let me paraphrase, that the last election was held September 3rd, 2020. She said that September is not the constitutional due date, final date for election. She is right. And I'm going to go into the Constitution for the illiterate, ignorant, worthless, and lazy supporters of the PNP. I'm going to explain Section 64 of the Constitution. Right? Dr. Lloyd Barnett, a constitutional expert on the Constitution of Jamaica, who is a PNP hack. He knows that the supporters of the PNP are ignorant, for the most part, illiterate, lazy, and worthless. He knows. So because he and the Gleaner know, and the fake news media know, they try to peddle that into the minds of these people. Dr. Lloyd Barnett says that the government again in the fake news media headed by the Gleaner. The headline says, Dr. Lloyd Barnett questions purpose of minister's election statement? Asks Prime Minister to clarify. There's nothing to clarify, like Barnett. You know the Constitution more than me because I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to tell you that you are just being a pain in the hack, right? There's nothing to clarify. There's nothing to clarify here, my friends, right? Nothing. Dr. Lloyd Barnett went on to say, this is the part of that Dr. Lloyd Barnett, who is a constitutional lawyer expert. This is the part that he is peddling that makes no sense. He says, why focus on the normal? Well, no, why focus on the exceptional in the Constitution and not the normal? But hello, somebody. You see, I'm a common sense guy. I talk with common sense. That's me. I'm from the common sense crowd. He says, why focus on the exceptional and not the exceptional and not the normal? Well, hello, Joker Barnett. Hello, Joker Barnett. The exceptional is also a part of the Constitution. It's a part of the damn constitutional, Joker Barnett. It is. Right? If the normal is in the Constitution, if the exceptional is in the Constitution, along with the normal, they're both a part of the Constitution. Am I right, somebody? Or am I wrong? Am I right? I'm going to read the exceptional part now. Well, it's in my head because I read it and I understand it. I don't have to read it. I understand it. And I'm going to tell you what it is right now. Right? He says, why focus on the exceptional and not the normal? Yeah, but the exceptional is also a part of the Constitution. With the normal. Am I right? Before I continue, let me play my favorite song because I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to church, but I'm in a good mood. Gotta give God thanks. But I gotta say Showa. Showa. We're gonna whip them, baby. We're gonna whip them. Third term. Go on, JLP. Go on. Showa. Okay, let me move on because I'm going to church. Okay. The exceptional is part of the normal in the Constitution. Okay? Minister of Legal Affairs, Melo Ford says, September is not the final. That's what she means. Constitutional date for elections. She's right. Let me dive into it now. As I understand it, Section 64 of the Jamaica Constitution, right? Let me paraphrase. It says, Parliament, right? The government, it says, from the last, the next election, all right, elections are not constitutionally due. Elections are constitutionally due from the last sitting of Parliament, not from the last election. That's what it says. So it is constitutionally due 5 years. Okay, let me correct it. It says elections are constitutionally due 5 years from the last sitting of Parliament, not from the last election. Not after its last election. 5 years from the last sitting of Parliament, not after its last election. Okay, I get it now. It's all coming to my head now because I read it and you know, I was, okay. Elections are constitutionally due from the last sitting of Parliament, right? The government last, right? Is from the government expires from the last sitting of Parliament, not from the last election. So if elections was held on September 3, Parliament doesn't sit September 3. Did not sit September 3rd. I believe it sat a month after. Right? Okay? I don't remember when it met. Right? Right? So, yes. Okay. Let me backtrack that. Sorry, let me backtrack that. Let me backtrack that. He says, Parliament, from its first sitting of, yes, its first sitting. Not the last, first. Not the last, first, sorry. I'm mixing you up. Right? Elections are due, right? After Parliament's first sitting first sitting. And his first sitting was not the 3rd. It was sometime after the 3rd. Right? Not the 3rd, was sometime after the 3rd. Okay. If elections are not held earlier, right? If elections are not held earlier, Parliament shall be dissolved 3 months thereafter. 3 months thereafter. That's exceptional that Lloyd Barnett is alluding to. Right? After his first sitting of Parliament, right? The government shall last after its first sitting of Parliament, not from its last election. So the government's first sitting of Parliament was after the 3rd. I'm sure it was after the 3rd. I don't know when it was, but maybe it was a month after they sat after the government was the last election. I think it was a month. I'm not sure. I don't know it. Right? So if it doesn't last from the first sitting of Parliament, elections shall be held from after the first sitting of Parliament, every 5 years, from the first sitting of Parliament. So whenever that date was, I don't know when it was. But it's not from the 3rd. The 3rd of September to the 3rd of September, 5 years after, is 2025. September 3rd. Right? He says, the Constitution says if elections are not called earlier, because sometimes the Prime Minister calls election earlier. If it's not called earlier, right? After that first sitting of Parliament, 3 months thereafter, Parliament shall be dissolved. Automatically dissolved. Its Constitution says Parliament is automatically dissolved. 3 months after their first sitting, Parliament shall be dissolved and elections are called. If I remember correctly, Edward Seaga did that in 1989. Yes, Edward Seaga went to the wire. He went to the wire with this. He went to the wire. Because the last election was 1983 when you had a snap election. I forgot when I don't remember the exact date in 83. But and to all these young people to understand, we had a snap election in 1983 where the PNP did not contest elections. So 83 to 88 would have been 5 years. Am I right, somebody? 5 years. But Seaga went over into 89 February and had the election because he went for the exception in the Constitution for 3 months. So can somebody tell Dr. Lloyd Barnett that and the fake media that they're making it sound as if the Prime Minister and the JLP government is trying to ignore the Constitution of Jamaica. No, they're not trying to do that. They are within the confines of the Constitution. They are. Right? So elections are not constitutionally due by September. No. It can be held 3 months thereafter. Why? Because the Constitution says so, my friends. It says so. Moving on. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica. Parliament has the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. The ECJ. Okay. If you listen to the PNP and the fake media in Jamaica, the Gleaner, headed by the Gleaner Company of Jamaica, the 15th garrison of Jamaica, if you listen to them, you would think that the Electoral Commission of Jamaica has the sole responsibility to draw boundaries. No, they're not. They're not. They're not. The ECJ role is advisory. Parliament has the primary responsibility for electoral boundaries. They do. They advise Parliament of this, and Parliament can say no or yes, yes or no. So it's not the ECJ, bro. It's Parliament, which is the supreme, in Jamaica. I mean, the Constitution is supreme. Parliament comes under the Constitution, but the supreme lawmaking body in Jamaica is the Constitution, is Parliament. Sorry, but you would think that the Gleaner, basically I said the Gleaner and the fake news media in Jamaica, they peddled on the ignorance, illiteracy, worthlessness, and laziness of the PNP supporters in Jamaica, because they know no better. The PNP supporters know no better. They know no better. They know no better. They can't think for themselves. They can't reason for themselves. They can't analyze for themselves because they're a bunch of dummies. Yes, they are. They're like cults. They're like cults. They're followers. They're followers. And followers don't think. They follow. Gotta think, read, and comprehend, my friend. That's how it go. That's how it go. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica doesn't have the exclusive responsibility of drawing boundaries. It's Parliament, my friends. Parliament. They are the agency that does it, but Parliament is the final authority. So they make it look as if, oh, the ECJ can do what they want. No, they can't. Come on, people. Think. Moving on. Dr. Damien King, another dinosaur of the PNP. Well, the PNP is economist. Call him voodoo economist. He got it right this time. He says that the last budget presentation, the budget presentation of the JLP government, is not a budget that has political spending in it and election promises. Thank God. Because we don't believe in election promises in a budget. We believe in a responsible budget, my friends. Responsible budget. That's what we do. That's what we are about. That's what we are about. So we got that right. Right? Finally, the PNP is requesting a veto power of republic. We all know the British PNP, the British opposition leader Mark Bowling. We all know that the British citizen, well, he's not a citizen no more, but, once a British, always a British. The British opposition leader who hates Jamaica, because he's not one of us. He doesn't look like us, he's not one of us, and he's not of us. The PNP want to have veto power of Jamaica becoming a republic because they don't want Jamaica to become a republic. They want Jamaica to remain under the British monarchy. They don't want Jamaica to be an independent, we're independent. They don't want Jamaica to be a republic. They want Jamaica to be under the King of England. Where the British subject, Mark Golding, former subject, but in my view, once a British, always a British, he wants to, it seems, report to the King. Why would we do that? We want to report to the people of Jamaica, not the King. People of Jamaica, my friend, not the King. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. Okay. So that's it. So, my friends, think. Again, the fake media in Jamaica peddle to the ignorance, illiteracy, worthlessness, and laziness of the PNP supporters. I'm done. I'm gone.